Oh, yes. Okay. Hello, everyone. This is Dr. Tanisha Dennis, and I'm sorry, I'm still going to play with how I'm going to look at everything because I'm live again. Today is our episode 3 of Dentist Live. I'm so sorry. I'm going to try to look more at the camera. I got my laptop here, and I'm going to be answering questions and comments and giving shout outs today. So I'm so excited because I'm trying to do better at being able to view the comments as well as answering the questions and everything like that. So anybody who starts to come into the room, please let me know so I can give you a shout out. Okay, all right. So I'm gonna jump right into answering the questions and comments over the course of the week. This week I did a video about Moon Whitening toothpaste from Kendall Jenner, which was a really interesting one. I really enjoyed that toothpaste, which is quite interesting because I wasn't expecting to enjoy a toothpaste as much as I did. But I really liked doing that video because it was actually quite delightful for me to do. All right, so I'm going to, hello everybody, hello, hi. All right, so I'm trying to manage the difference between doing this and looking at here, but I wanted to jump right in and to start to answer some questions. I'm going to give a shout out to Caitlin Mayfield, who made a comment about some product she was using to help her husband deal with bad breath. I want to give a shout out to Clumzor, who also watched the Moon teeth whitening video and thought that that was a good, hi dear, yay, good. I think you're my biggest fan. Hi Hatch, hi, how are you? Nice to see you. I don't remember you last week, so anybody new, I definitely want to shout you out. Adir gave me a thumbs up. He said, awesome. I sang he. You're he or a she? I just want to make sure I'm not saying that incorrectly. Someone also, this is Andrew Bushard, said, when you have a chance, kindly create a video about choosing beverages based on acidic level, like 88 article, the pH of beverages in the United States and the this is a very high level question. Hi, Plenty You. Yay, hi. As you guys can see, I'm still working on putting my studio stuff together, so it's a little bit tricky for me. I'm going to answer this question about the beverages. Oh, you're obsessed with Ariana Grande. I love her too. She actually went to school in Boca Raton, which is right down the street from me. But I'll answer this question in video because this is more a high-level question, and I'm not sure if everybody is going to be interested in hearing about pH, but pH is basically acidic and basic, and how the acidic and basic levels in your mouth fluctuate, and how that changes how prone to cavities you are. So I don't know how interested people are in that comment, but yeah. All right, I got another one. Someone put this comment on the video that I did about being afraid of the dentist. And it says, how to get a lifetime dental fear, getting rid of it. First, the negative process. How do you get it? By experience. This is a vicious one that begins with fear of the unknown, generally experienced in early years and going there already in pain, then the psychological pain of not being listened to. And I will say of all of the dental fears that people have, it's really not the needle. It's not the drill. What the dental fear is that the dentist is not going to listen to you. The dentist is not going to listen to you when you say stop, listen to you when you have pain. I have a patient that came in yesterday, and she was telling me how she had such a bad experience with the dentist when she was a kid. And basically they were drilling, they were doing all of these things, and no matter how much she said it hurt, they never stopped. So that's, I think, of all the fears that I have with people, it's not really that the dentistry is going to be painful, even though it's not that pleasant. I will not lie to you, but also that, somebody asked if they can shadow me. Give me 1 second. It's also the compassion of the dentist, because obviously you're doing something that causes a lot of fear in people. And when you have a situation where you feel like you're not being listened to, it definitely is going to contribute to causing more fear. Shadow me, absolutely. Just send me an email, modernstylecs@gmail.com. I let people come into the office and shadow me all the time. I always give the story that when I was younger, I was 12 years old when I decided I wanted to be a dentist. And what happened is nobody wanted to let me shadow them. So because nobody wanted to let me shadow them, what ended up happening is I never got to shadow anyone. So I have had many people shadow me in the past, and it's really good. Can you major in public health and still go on your way to become an orthodontist? Yes. So I did a video a couple years ago about how to become a dentist. I don't know if this is bothering anyone that I'm looking up. Let's make this a little closer. Maybe this will be a little better. Okay, I don't know if the lighting not is good. Okay. Stay. Yes, you can actually major in anything and become a dentist. You don't have to major in biology like I did. Please forgive me. I'm still figuring this out. Okay, you don't have to major in biology like I did. So for the most part, as long as you take your prerequisites, you take biology, organic chemistry, general biology, and chemistry, general chemistry. Some schools require physics and some don't. I'm a new RDA, so you're a registered dental assistant that will be starting to work in endo. What good advice with working in doctors in endo? Oh, if you want to be a good, I didn't miss anybody's question. If you want to be a good assistant, it has nothing to do with endo or not. Being a good assistant is about being good at many, many, many things at the same time. So it's like a million little things being good at it. So you have to know the procedure and anticipate the need of the dentist. And that's really what makes a good assistant. So if I'm doing endo, for example, endo is probably one of the, and for anybody who doesn't know what endo is root canals. If you're doing a procedure in endo and you are paying attention and you know what's going on, as long as you're anticipating the need of the dentist, they're going to be very happy with you. So that means, I'll give you that in just a second. That means that you have to know if they need a file, you hand it to them. If you need something, you hand it to them ahead of time. That's what makes a good assistant. So I'm trying new things here. Modern Smile cs@gmail.com. I have sensitive teeth. What is the main ingredient I should look for in a toothpaste? You know what? I don't know the answer to that. I will not lie to you. But I can tell you if I look that up, because Sensodyne and all of those brands, they basically all have, I think Colgate's coming out with a sensitive Sensodyne. When in doubt, Google it. All right, let's say what's the active ingredient in Sensodyne? And I can tell you what it actually is. A lot of times in my office, we often use fluoride to help delay sensitivity or kind of get the sensitivity out of the way. Fluoride is very effective with that. When I was living in Philadelphia, because I went to school, University of Pennsylvania, and I went to University of Pennsylvania and I had recently had a tooth extracted, and when I went outside, and it was probably this time of year, and I breathed in, and I was like, somebody stabbed me in my head. So I know. So the active ingredient is potassium nitrate, and what that does, sorry, I forgot that. Potassium nitrate, what that does is there's tubules in your teeth. That basically means how is it that there is a flow of ions in and out of your tooth, and that's what creates sensitivity. So whenever you have that, imagine if your tooth has a lot of like little pores, and those pores, the Sensodyne will block the pores up and make your teeth less sensitive. So it is literally a chemical and physical barrier, and that's what happens is the more that you use it, the more that you will see you get less and less sensitivity. I think I've said this in other videos. A really great tip for people with really sensitive teeth is to get a Q-tip and put the Sensodyne onto the Q-tip and then rub it onto the area. So a lot of people will have recession. That just means that the area at the gum line has receded, and that causes more sensitivity than anything. Hi, Elizabeth. Hi. Oh, I said hi to Hatch already, did I? And thank you for your question. If anybody doesn't have any more questions, I'm going to keep answering questions and comments from my most previous video. What are you doing with a periodontal probe? Can you make sure that you are not going too deep to the patient's gum? Actually, that's the whole point. I know that sounds horrible. Nobody likes that, but that's true. I don't have any instruments. Obviously, I'm in my home, but what a perio probe does is a perio probe has notches, and depending on what kind of perio probe it is, it'll have a 1 millimeter, 2 millimeter, 3 millimeter. Most perio probes are jump to 5. Then top of that is 7, and then there's all the way to 10. So what the dentist does, let's imagine like this. What dentist does, and this is your gum, and this is your tooth. We put a probe between your gum and the tooth to see how deep it will go. If it goes in deep, you have lost a lot of bone. If it goes in shallow, that means you have healthy gums. So typically the rule is, because it's in millimeters, 1 to 3 millimeters is healthy. Then 3, 4, 5, we're starting to get into gum disease. 7 is not good. 10 is not good. By the time you get to those bigger numbers, a lot of times your teeth are moving. And if your teeth are moving, it's not even... it's not good, because then we start talking about extraction. Once a tooth starts moving, I always joke, it's not like a light bulb that you could just turn it and tighten it back up again. Max says, hi Max, how many implants would you say you do a week? What are your favorite procedures in dentistry and not so favorite things to do? Okay, so implants per week, it fluctuates. There are times, depending on the time of year, I do a lot of implants. Sometimes I'll do 5, 10 implants a week. Sometimes I do 1 implant a week. Sometimes I reserve it for particular days of the week because it's surgery and I like to be more focused and be with that patient alone. I have done, if I'm not approaching 1,000, I'm very close in how many implants. I think I did like, you want to do the math, something like 250 last year, something like that. Sometimes they're single implants, sometimes they're implant bridge. It really depends on it. Of all the procedures that I like the most, I love to do implants. I like surgery. Surgery is fun for me. I love extractions. I love doing stuff like that. I love to do like makeover type deals. I love implant type makeover deals. So that's really, really fun for me. And then what is my not so favorite? What's my not so favorite? Okay, that's a good one. My not so favorite thing to do in dentistry is to fix a chip on your front tooth. That's my least favorite thing to do. So I don't know if anybody's ever seen somebody or have it themselves, a small chip on their front tooth, and it like little to nick enough that you want to fix it, but not so much that you know, it's like you want to fix it, but it's not that bad. I hate doing that. And the reason that, sheesh, 250, yeah, something like that. Yeah, you can calculate how many that comes up a week. So yes, so not so favorite, and that's just because they come off so easy. And if something's always coming off, you know, how effective is that? And that's why sometimes people end up getting crowns or veneers to cover those things. Sounds like what needs a crown? All of the implants that I do? Absolutely. I do everything from start to finish in my office. There are some dentists who just do the surgery, some dentists who do the crowns only, and I do the crowns and the surgery. I have a lot more control that way. I enjoy doing it. Like I said, it's one of my favorite ways to start the day. Okay, Max. Okay, every time I pick up my phone, somebody looks like they're gonna ask another question. Why do you say that? Okay. Oh, this was a long thing. Wow, I did not even see that question. Okay, what does it mean while I'm chewing? This is from my video about, does your kid needs braces? I'm going to answer that question. It says, what does it mean while I'm chewing? If I bite both sides of my cheek, it happens all the time. If it hurts, my parents don't have enough money to take me to the dentist. Please help. I'm so sorry. That sounds like a young person. For the most part, if you're chewing the side of your teeth, it's probably some sort of, and I didn't say who asked this question. This was Ashley Dunero. For the most part, if you probably have some sort of bite issue, you might just have to wait. Depends on how old you are. I'm sorry that your parents can't afford to do it, but there's so many great financing programs out there. Do you see implants? This hash says, do you see implants ever becoming affordable for the average Joe? I don't know if they're going to become so much more affordable. I hate making this analogy, but it's so true. Sometimes we just liken it to like a flat screen TV. I mean, I'm old enough to remember when people had I mean, I'm old enough to remember when people had the kind of TVs that you turn the dial, for God's sake. So there was a time when flat screen TVs are really affordable. I was in Best Buy the other day and I saw a 60-inch TV for $500. So God knows when that's going to happen. However, what I do find the trend is that more insurance companies are also like they're paying for it. So once upon a time, like nobody insurance was paying for implants or anything like that. And now I feel like more insurance companies are paying for implants, which is really nice, to make it more affordable to people. And obviously we always use Care Credit and Lending Club, and there's a whole bunch of different names of finance companies that do low monthly payments. So it's still hard. In general, dentistry is still expensive. And that's just because the insurance game is really difficult. It's really difficult. It's not like medical that you get medical insurance and you pay and you go to a hospital and you may not have a copay, or you go to the doctors, you may not have a copay. It's a totally different game out there when it comes to dentistry. I tell people all the time that like you have to have like a PhD to be able to understand dental insurance and insurance in general. But I think that it's getting better every year. I see more and more people do implants. See what happened is because dentistry once upon a time, if you had a tooth that was really bad, they just like did everything they could to save it. And now it's like, well, why are you doing that? Let's just do an implant. You know what I mean? Somebody commented in my oil pulling video, which still remains one of my most popular videos, about oil pulling. Jones says, great info, but who in God's name is going to swish for 20 minutes? I agree. I'm not doing that either. I'm not going to swish for 20 minutes. That's bananas. Okay. I think I answered this question already. Oh, and then I'm just going to shout some other people out that gave me some comments. Sonia Jones from my crown fell out video. Ronald Allen, just wanted to say thank you. Flower 3R Girls. And I think this one I already answered. So please sing for us. Are you kidding me? I'm not singing. I don't sing. Just because you hear me humming, that doesn't mean that I sing. All right, any other questions? All right, if there's nothing else that anybody else wants to talk about, I just wanted to give like a quick little like story of something that a patient said to me this week that I thought was so powerful. She's like dramatically afraid of the dentist, and she was talking about how now she has learned how to swim and how afraid she was to swim. And now that she's conquered that fear of swimming, she's relating that to dentistry and is ready to go. I think that anytime that you can find courage, anytime that you can find something that proves to you that because you were capable in the past of doing something else that you can do. I mean, for me, I'm the kind of dentist, I really like to sit down and understand people's story. What are they going through? What are they trying to accomplish? And once I understand that, I try to approach them with the same kind of level that they're expecting, if that makes any sense. So like, let's say, for example, you came in and you really, really wanted to get this one thing done. I am not going to distract you to keep this other stuff unless you have an abscess or an infection or something like that. We always, sometimes when patients need like things all the way in the back, but they also don't like their smile, it makes so much more sense to focus on the things that are going to make them happy visually. And it gives so much more inspiration. It gives so much more inspiration to feel, hey, I can do this. I'm going to keep going. I'm going to get even deeper into this process. And I know when 2020 is coming up in the new year, a lot of times people make some of their goals. They make some of their goals about how they feel about their mouth. They make that a part of what they're going to accomplish to make themselves better. Like me, everybody knows I'm like in fitness and everything. So for me, I'm always looking for ways to improve. So when I look at the new year, I'm thinking, okay, what am I going to do? How am I going to get better this year? So you think about your mouth that way too. How can you whiten? Oh, whitening. I talk about whitening. I feel like I talk about whitening all the time, but maybe that's in my office. I feel like because everybody wants whiter teeth. I think that the whole thing about whiter teeth is really about experimentation. I know everybody wants to have some magic pill where they go into their office and sit down for an hour and come out with Hollywood white teeth. And the reality is that whitening, number one, is a process. And number two, whitening is something that you continue to experiment with yourself. And please forgive me if I'm a broken record. I have people who have done crest white strips at home and get amazing results, amazing. And I have people who do crest white strips and it does absolutely nothing for them, right? So you have to continue. I say start with the cheap stuff. I rinse with hydrogen peroxide almost every day before I brush. I've used Listerine whitening, which is an amazing product, but it's very harsh on the mouth. That's the reason I don't use it more. So Listerine whitening, a pre-brush rinse, that's a slow, gradual way. And then you upgrade yourself. Listen, you could get crest white strips for under $50. Whitening toothpaste for less than that. That moon whitening thing that I tried the other day, that was $20. I mean, that's the most. So, I mean, you go into a dental office, you're definitely going to start increasing the cost. But even with us dentists, we cannot say that one thing works for all patients. We don't know that. So it's one of those things that as you continue to use different products, you'll see what works for you. And when it comes from a patient perspective, you're also looking at your budget. So the more money you're spending, you need to make sure you start at the lowest rungs of it. Charcoal is amazing. Charcoal is very affordable. All those things. So it depends on what you want to do, but you have to continue to upgrade. Any in-house whitening needs to be followed up with a home whitening. Unless you're going to starve yourself for the rest of your life, you're going to stain your teeth again. So if you're not doing some sort of at-home product, the value of the in-house whitening is not all there. It has to be consistent, okay? Is it necessary to do a root canal? Because gum will have an infection. And one. I'm sorry, I said that all wrong. Okay, a gum infection and a root canal, and you're gonna make me say something very technical, so I'm gonna say it anyways. So there are two kinds of reasons, or two reasons that people need a root canal. And I'm not talking the reason that I broke my tooth, I got a big cavity. I'm talking about from the dentist perspective. Sometimes we say it's a periodental lesion or endoperiodental lesion. That means that sometimes the gum can cause an infection in the tooth, and sometimes the tooth can cause an infection in the gum. So if you're talking about that, yes, they are together, but you don't necessarily know what is the true reason of why you have that. That's something your dentist will say. So if you're afraid you need a root canal and your gums are affected, that's something you have to check with your dentist, because that's not always the case. Even though infection in your tooth that needs a root canal can show up in your gum as swelling, can show up your gum as what we call a fistula, which basically is a drain for an abscess. So it's shown different ways. Sorry, everybody. Somebody email me for shadowing. Wonderful. Yay. Okay, I'm going to give my little 5 minute, sorry guys, plug line. Yeah, there we go. Okay, I'm gonna give my little 5 minute warning. So if you are interested in asking any questions, you let me know. I have already my video for this Thanksgiving weekend. Hopefully everybody's gonna have a wonderful Thanksgiving. I have my Thanksgiving weekend video coming up, already filmed and ready to go. But if anybody ever has any suggestions as to any topics that you'd like me to talk about, I'm always more than happy to answer those questions and talk about that, all right? And if anybody's local and they want to come into the office for a consultation, I'm in South Florida. I think I say that all the time, but I'm in South Florida, in area near Fort Lauderdale. So I take new patients all the time and I do free consultations, especially people who are looking to do dental implants or trying to figure out what exactly they need. I am very, very good at dental strategy. That means that if you have a very long treatment plan with a lot of things to do, that I can help you break it down, because a lot of times people are thinking about financial things, and I may do a video like that. People are thinking about how much does it cost with dentists, and a big mistake that dentists make all the time is like hitting you over the head with everything. And that is overwhelming, especially if you're afraid of the money, if you're afraid of pain, and when I tell you you need 1,000 things, you're going to leave and do nothing. And the biggest mistake that patients make is not doing it one at a time. Now that, I believe, is our responsibility as dentists, to put it in the priority list. What is the most important thing for you to do, the next most important thing to you to do, and keep moving down to make sure that all of your needs are addressed and you don't feel overwhelmed with the process and you say, oh my gosh, forget the whole thing. I can't afford it. I can't do it. And just, you know, let it go. And dentists make that. I think somebody last week, they asked me this question about if they couldn't do a root canal and if they couldn't afford it. It's like, well, the best thing to do is just to like start. Do the first step. If you have a dentist that's going to work with you, you're going to be fine. Just do the first step. It's so hard just to even get in the chair. Just get that first step. Like, people just hate it. And because they hate it so much, it's like, you know, if we could at least, as dentists, if we could at least give them the path, give them the strategy, do this first. Okay. You know what? If you don't do another thing for another month, that's fine. Do something. Do the most important thing first. Do one thing. Do one thing. That one thing could save you thousands of dollars. Like, literally, you do that one filling, even though you need 10, okay? You need 10 fillings. Oh my gosh, I'm so overwhelmed. I need 10 fillings. Do one filling, for God's sake. You do one filling, that's one tooth that could have needed a root canal that you stopped yourself from spending so much money, stopped yourself from doing that just by doing one. Do you know what I mean? So I always try to keep it like in that practical level. And that's really what I'm trying to share here on YouTube. All right, anything else? I'm gonna start wrapping it up. Anybody else? Okay. All right, if anybody else, I mean, I appreciate you guys so much. Like, when you tune in, like, for me, I don't have expectations as far as how many people have to be here. All my expectations to answer the questions to the people that would like to ask them. So I'm really going to try to continue to keep this up. As you can see, my time keeps fluctuating. Some of my Europeans out there, they were like, hey, do it in the evening. I was like, fine, I'll try to do that. I won't lie. I really want to do one of those like 8 a.m., 9 a.m. I am a morning person, like nobody's business. I had a really long day today. Is it true when you extract a tooth for an implant, you lose some bone? Of course you lose bone when you extract. Like, where are you from? I love to hear where people are from. But yes, it is true. Of course, anytime you lose a tooth, you're going to lose bone. Your body only keeps the bone there because it thinks that you are doing something with it. Your body is a conservationist. As soon as you pull a tooth and you don't put an implant in. Oh, you're 17? What about how old are they? Okay, everybody wants to know how old everybody is. I'm not telling my age, but I could be your mom. Anyways. So yes, as soon as you lose a tooth, you're gonna lose bone. That's natural. That's what happens. Your body's a conservationist. You ever seen the old witch's picture and her face is all collapsed? Like that? Their face is collapsed because they have no teeth and they don't have no teeth and they lose all their bone. It's quite scary. You know what? I have a really great model in my office. I'm gonna start doing something a little different where I show the actual models and things that I use to illustrate. A lot of them look like these guys. Look, this is actually one of the models I use when I'm showing people about Invisalign, retainers, and how you snap it on place and stuff like that. What is your irrigation protocol? My irrigation protocol, I cannot pronounce your name. Is that in Arabic? I love the way that language looks. Oh, somebody's from Buffalo, New York? Awesome. What's my irrigation protocol? Man, we use irrigation for a lot of things. We use irrigation after cleanings. We use irrigation when we're doing root canals. I use here, if you're discussing that, tell me what you mean by that, and I can better answer that question. Sophion, what does that mean? I don't know what that means. What does Sophion mean? So do you mean irrigation protocol? Here's another model. This is actually one of the models we used to use in dental school. I have the top one here somewhere. Listerine is good for mouthwash daily. I am not a huge Listerine fan because it's so alcoholic. Okay, if you ever use a toothpaste and you put your finger in your mouth and you wipe your cheek and you get a film, it's because it's killing all of the cells in your mouth. And I get that with Listerine and Crest. Shh, don't tell them I said that. I still love Listerine whitening and all that stuff. But I Listerine can be harsh. So if you get a lot of dry mouth, don't use Listerine so often. They have a lot of alcohol-free toothpaste. I think Crest has Pro Health and a lot of other things that are much milder. Maybe use it in the morning, but not in the night and stuff like that. In my irrigation protocol so you must be a dentist if you're asking what my irrigation protocol is for our root canals. So for the non-dentist, that just means when we're doing the root canals, we rinse out the tooth at the end. Or throughout the root canal, we call it biomechanical irrigation and instrumentation, which basically means that we're gonna physically clean out the inside of the tooth. Almost imagine as if you had a baby bottom brush and you're going inside and scrubbing and cleaning and scrubbing and cleaning. So what we do, what I do, is I do sodium hypochlorite, which smells like bleach because it's NaCl. And after I do sodium hypochlorite, I am a little bit mild OCD, so I spread out all my irrigation syringes. And then the next thing I do is EDTA. EDTA can kill the microflora. Oh, you got me talking fancy. Kill the microflora within the canal, takes off the smear layer. That's what all of them do. And then the next one that I use is Periodontal, which is chlorhexidine. And I use that to kill the bacteria with the chlorhexidine, which is a blue mouth rinse. If you who go to the dentist often might see that someone might give that to you if you have really bad gums to clean your gums. But the irrigation on the inside, what it does, I like that because it's antibacterial. And what I do is I let that sit for a little while just to kill it. It's minty. The other stuff we try not to let into the patient's mouth I don't use rubber dam. I don't like to torture people. Please forgive me. The dental police can come and get me, but I don't like to torture my patients unnecessarily. If I must, I must. But for the most part, that's how I do it. I do sodium hypochlorite. Once upon a time, alcohol was very popular to rinse, but I heard it desiccates or dries out the canal, so I don't do it anymore. I won't sing, but I will dance. How much time it takes to become a dentist, like since you start learning at the university. In America, because other countries do it different, 4 years of college, so graduated from high school, 4 years of college. I was a biology major. I did all of the coursework that someone asked me about earlier, biology, chemistry, and a lot more than that. And then after that, I applied to take my dental admissions test, DAT, and went into dental school. I went to University of Pennsylvania in Philadelphia, and that is 4 years. Now, I am a general dentist. If you would like to become an orthodontist, if you'd like to become an oral surgeon, if you'd like to become a periodontist, which is a gum specialist, or endodontist, which is a root canal specialist, then you will have, depending on which program you choose, because it is hospital, get you, a master's degree. You can get a master's degree, but you don't need one. You don't need, it's like it's not like you go from getting your bachelor's to master's and then you get your doctorate. For me, you go from getting your bachelor's to getting your doctorate. So we don't need a master's degree, we go straight on. I think there's other countries that's a part of college, like they do college for like 7 years instead of doing that, and then they get their degree and everything. Ooh, I'm over time. About to wrap this up. Okay, this is the last call. All right, I enjoy these so much. I really do. So make sure you share with your friends. I am, pitch for me, little plug for myself. I really want to reach 10,000 subscribers before the end of the year. That would be nice, right? When I left, I had 1,000 and now I have 10, and I think it's nice. So share with your friends. Help me reach that last couple bits of subscribers to get to 10,000 would be nice. Spread the word. Let them know I do things. My goal here always is to make dentistry less scary, not so scary. I tell my patients all the time, all I want to do is disappoint you. I want to disappoint you. I want to tell you, like, don't you see? It wasn't as bad as you thought. A quick question from Charisma Ali. Quick question. I love sweets. I have a bad teeth. What would you recommend? I don't want to quit sweet. Are you kidding me? Do you want me to show you something? 1 minute. This is full of candy. You don't have to quit sweets. Why on earth would you quit sweets? I love sweets. I love ice cream. I hate cookies, candy, all this. Let me tell you something. And I was going to do a video about this on what you call Twizzlers. These are like the worst candy. Okay. Yes, this is the worst candy. Anything that is sticky, that's going to stick to your teeth like this. These are, oh my goodness, these things. Anything that you eat that, yes, when they say your teeth are weak, what they really are saying is that you have a different buildup of your teeth. There are people who do this. I'm going to say this a million times. They do this. they do all the wrong things and they don't get cavities. And there's people who do all the right things and they still get cavities. So like, if you think it's because of something you did wrong, and I'm not saying that you don't need to take care of your teeth, please don't think that that's what I'm saying. I'm saying when they say your teeth are weak, that means you're genetically more prone to cavities. So it's, yes, you need to be more vigilant. You need to, when you have candy and stuff like that, you need to make sure you brush. So that's all you have to do. You don't have to give up sweets, but you cannot leave. Okay, you do a test, okay? Charisma. You do a test. You have some candy and open your mouth and look at your teeth. If you see candy stuck in all your teeth, you need to go brush. You need to rinse with water, because if you leave that in your teeth, you most definitely are gonna be not gonna get a cavity right then, but over time, because if you know how cavities are formed, you guys are giving me such great ideas. If you know how cavities are formed, then you know that really it's about leaving the bacteria in your mouth are eating. They're eating what you're eating. And when the bacteria mouth eating, they produce an acid, and that acid goes onto your teeth. And that acid on your teeth is going to eat through your tooth and make a brown spot. So don't give up candy. What's low fat? I've got 5 fillings done and some, Moses, hi Moses, done, and some must have been close to the nerve. So I've been in pain for a week, and now I've been healing my gums now. If you have fillings and you've been in pain for a week, you need to go back to your dentist, because if one of them was close to the nerve, you might need, Twizzlers. I hate Twizzlers. If one of them was close to the nerve, then you might need a root canal. Now, I'm a dentist, so when I hear stuff like that, that really bothers me, you know, because I tell patients all the time, no news is good news. If you don't go back to the dentist, they don't know that you're suffering at home. Why on earth would you suffer for a week? Don't suffer for a week. Go call your dentist. Be like, look, you did a filling on me last week and it hurts. So go talk to them. What foods are good for the teeth? All foods that are good for your body are good for your teeth, right? All foods that are heavy in calcium and phosphorus and all those good minerals, magnesium, manganese, all of that stuff, those things are good for your body, good for your teeth. What's good for your skin is good for your teeth. Teeth are different though. Once they come out, they're almost like an external organ, which is very difficult. Notice how, you know, like we can drill on them and you're not, you know, dead. You could have a piece fall off. I know it hurts because that's just because it's connected to the nerve. But I mean, the teeth are living in your mouth, but kind of external. So you have to care for them. You have to care for them more with topical agents, because they're not taking things in the same way. Now, when you're growing up, I still have this candy in my hand. When you're growing up and you are growing like kids and they're developing their teeth, that's really important for them to get good nutrition. Like people who are malnutrition, they'll have bad teeth later on, because like, you know, it's hard, because as an adult, whatever's formed is formed. We're influencing it from outside. But when you're a kid, what you're eating and drinking is actually going into the tooth and nourishing the tooth. Ooh, somebody made me stay over on time. Okay, I feel like throwing candy at everybody. Oh, this is another bad one. Tootsie Roll. That's another bad one. This is a really bad one. Laffy Taffy. Okay, King David says, how long should I do coconut oil pulling? Well, the recommendation is 20 minutes, but as I don't know if you're on the video earlier, 20 minutes is a long time. I think just doing it is freaking awesome. It's kind of like when people make a big deal. Vitamin K is also good for teeth. Yes, it is. Yeah, 20 minutes is good. It's like whitening too. Like if you do whitening for 5 minutes, it works. If you do it for longer, it works even better. So if you're doing oil pulling, and the oil pulling thing is just so weird, because when you put the oil in your mouth, you're basically going So what you're trying to do is like pull, like let the oil go under your gums and pull up and suck up and pull. So it's like you're almost generating this like motion inside of your gums. So it's like, I know it's weird. I know it's weird. Yes. Well, good luck, because I cannot, I can't do it for 20 minutes. I just can't. Yay. And one, hi, how are ya? Yay. Anybody else have some questions? Listen, I'm a mom. I got a family waiting out there for me. So I need to get them and make some dinner and cook for them. So they're like kind of off limits. They know that I can't, that I have to go soon. Golden Goods, your name sounds so familiar. I think you were here last week. I think you asked me a question last week. Let me know. Oil pulling made my teeth stronger, and so does vegan diet. I'm not constantly chewing on meat that rots your teeth and gets stuck in them. Listen, I'm a meat eater, carnivore, guilty, but I won't lie. It's probably healthier for you to be a vegetarian, but I'm not going to get into that. Yes, you were here last week. What is the time in Florida? It is 6:01. Yes. All right. So I'm going to wrap this up really soon. Yes, you see, look, somebody else is helping me answer. This is awesome. And I know I have some dentists on here. All right. So I'm so happy everybody was here. This is the last call for the last question. I have never done a live this long. It seems like this is a very good time. Last week, I told everybody I had people from Germany. What do I like to do in my spare time? A lot of things. If you watch my, is that what you meant to do? Okay, I can't even do that. I like to do a lot of things in my spare time. Maybe I will answer that next week on next week Tuesday. What is next week Tuesday? Anything special going on? Everybody's going into the holidays. Everybody is doing all that stuff. I really, really hope that you guys are concentrated on gratitude. I am so grateful for. I will be here next week. I like to be committed to the things that I promise people. So I'm like one of those people. If I say I'm going to do something, I'm going to do something. So I'll definitely be here next Tuesday. I am hoping, you know what? Who are you? Because somebody else told me I lost weight too. I didn't think so. Somebody else told me that. Listen, I'm about to eat like crazy on Thanksgiving. So I don't hold back. So I prepare for that. Yes. No, I didn't always have I don't have perfect teeth. I don't think I have perfect teeth. I think my teeth have their flaws. If you know me, you know, I have 3 dental implants in the back, and I will not show you guys that today. I won't. And I never had braces. I think I was meant to be a dentist. My last name is OFC. I don't know what that means, OFC. I never had braces. This is it. Not perfect. Listen, people talk to me about my teeth all the time, which I don't understand because I guess, listen, you could be a personal trainer and not have the greatest body. I guess you can. One of my root canal teachers in dental school, black bottom teeth, which was quite scary. Doesn't make any sense. All right, so I want to say bye, all my people who love to watch me every Tuesday. I just want to say goodbye. I enjoy you guys' company so much. And it's really dark here, and that's just because the time has changed. I have a few more viewers this week. Happy Thanksgiving. Oh, you're in Australia? What time is it in Australia right now? I want to know what time it is in Australia. I can look it up. All right, so let me know what time it is in Australia. I'm going to be back next Tuesday for real. You can comment on this video with your question. I mean, I'm pretty much prepared for 99% questions, especially when it comes to dental implants. But if you have any new questions, please, feel free to 10 a.m. on Wednesday. Oh, you have a newborn. Ooh, I guess I'm keeping you company while you take care of that baby. Been there, done that twice. It's what it is. All right, Australia, that's so freaking cool. That's cool. I want to go over on the other side of the world. As Laffy Taffy seems hard to get. Oh. King, Christ is king and the earth is flat. Water always finds its level. I love that. I love all of that. All right, so I'm gonna go. I guess this one is a cool 45 minutes today. Hopefully my kids are not starving. I really appreciate you guys. Okay, bye. Happy Thanksgiving, everybody. Thank you for interacting. I really appreciate you. Like, subscribe, and share. Help me get to 10,000, right? All right, this is Dr. Tamisha Dennis. Have a wonderful evening and happy Thanksgiving. Bye.